That's right. I'd like to welcome you to Channel Sports Sunday to this particular segment, the football segment, where we try to update you with what is going on in the world of football. My name is Eyitayo Balogun Jr. and I'm very happy that you could join us on this segment tonight. This afternoon, joining me will be Larry Pinel. Noddy's now around. Also, Bada, the regular faces you see will not be on set today. But I'd like to welcome you, Larry.
Well, it's a pleasure being in the studio.
I'm sure you had a good week.
Oh, definitely. It was a brilliant week. Fantastic week.
I know you'll say that. All right, quickly. Home is where we're going to start the local football. Talking about the MPFL. We had week 2 games take place yesterday, and we're going to take you through the scorelines. For the first time in this league, we recorded a away victory. Atlant FC went to Shooting Stars to defeat them. They defeated Shooting Stars 2-1. The other game of the day was Kano Pillars. Kano Pillars actually playing the first game this season. Remember, the first game, which would have been a week-long fixture, was rescheduled because of the robbery attack they encountered on their way to Atlant. So, Kano Pillars played 2-0 over Bayelsa United, started the league winning massively, impressively against the Bayelsa United side. Now, Shooting Stars, remember the first game they lost, they played away in that particular game, and yesterday they lost at home to Atlant FC by a goal to 2. Fixtures to see today, interesting fixtures I must confess. Aqua United will take on Taraba FC, Enugu Rangers will play host to Sharks FC, Kwara United will take El Kanemi Warriors on, Nasarawa United will play Wiki Tourist, and Sunshine Stars will play host to Gabros International. Now, the Dolphins, the likes of Dolphins, Eyimba, will play during the week. We're going to give you fixtures or talk about it as of the time. Let's talk about the games that we saw yesterday. Shooting Stars, for example. We know that most cases, anytime they get promoted, we've always had the issue of them changing guards and all that, but we didn't see that happen to Franklin Howard. And we thought, that, okay, yes, these guys are familiar with the MPFL. We expect them to actually go ahead and do well. 2 games on the bounce, and they've lost both games. Larry?
Yeah, very true. Right now, the target for Shooting Stars will be to actually survive relegation this season.
Right, it's too early, though.
That's the target. The likes of Burnley, Leicester will come into a league, and then straight away they give themselves target that, okay, we finish in the top 10, or we avoid relegation, or finish in the top 6 and go to Europe or something. Yeah. Right now, the target for Shooting Stars has to be to avoid relegation so that they do not live up to the normal expectation of going up and down every time going back down anytime they come up. Having said that, it was a brilliant game yesterday. Don't forget that Atlant didn't actually play in week 1 because they were supposed to play against Kano Pillars. Yeah. And so they actually rested while Shooting Stars had traveled to Wiki Tourist to lose to Wiki Tourist. So it was like Shooting Stars had to travel down back to Ibadan, and then Atlant traveled to. So
but that they should be used to this.
Definitely, they are used to it. But on the balance of play yesterday, particularly from both teams, in terms of squad players as well, Atlant actually has. You expect that
they have a new coach.
They have a new coach. They have a good crop of players, and it wasn't surprising that they actually went into the lead yesterday. Taufik Adepoju equalized for Shooting Stars, and then Atlant came back into it. If not for the goalkeeper of Shooting Stars, Kolaigi, who stopped the likes of Mohamed and Co. from actually even scoring more than it could have been a lot more. So for me, Shooting Stars will have to. These are the kind of results. These are the kind of games you expect that they grind results.
Yeah, even pick up a point against the Atlant side, you would expect them when they play in Ibadan, but it didn't happen. Now, this should put some pressure on Franklin now, don't you think so?
I agree with you. We understandably they lost away at Wiki Tourist. Yeah. That's understandable. Shooting Stars are particularly not good on the road, but what they do is that they ensure that they pick points when they play at home. Particularly in the NNL last season, that was what they did very, very efficiently, and then they got promoted with Gabra. So this season, the minimum for them from now on will be to at least win all your own games, maybe 1 or 2 draws here and there, and then go on the road and see where you can actually scrap draws, and hopefully they will escape relegation. For Kano Pillars, the good victory yesterday, in spite of the fact that 3-4 players were not part of the team, talking about Gabo Mohamed, Energy, Etepa, and the rest of them. But the guys who came into the squad did brilliantly well. I didn't expect Ruben Ogbunaya to start. He started. Adamu Mohamed, he was the injured defender. Adamu Mohamed scored a goal yesterday. So that was brilliant for him. So as it stands, Kano Pillars starting on a good note.
Okay, all right. We've seen in the league's past, we've seen teams struggle at the beginning and eventually climb back to the top 4 and top 5. We expect Shooting Stars actually do a lot of people that support them proud. I was going to personalize it, but I expect Shooting Stars to be impressive this season. Having said that, let's look at the games that will take place today. Sharks against Enugu Rangers. They are currently in Enugu to play against Rangers. This is a game a lot of people are looking forward to. Bring up Ogunbote. Remember, they had the issues some days ago. But again, it won't take the shine away from what to expect when Enugu will be hosting Sharks.
Definitely, and don't forget that Sharks themselves, they didn't actually get the result they needed in the first round when they played Sunshine. Goalless draw, that one ended, so they've only picked 1 point. Rangers, they lost in one of the most entertaining games of last weekend to Taraba, 3-2. 5-goal thriller in that one. So you'd expect that Rangers at home should be able to give Sharks a run for their money. I expect Rangers to pick 3 points. For 24, 25 years now, since 1983, 84, thereabout, they haven't won a trophy. So you would expect that Rangers will get it right this season.
Hopefully. Gabriels, as we see, will be taking on Sunshine Stars. Gabriels currently occupy top spot. Yes, we know they've played only one game, but they look good. I mean, they've been scoring, they've been impressive. Taking them a Sunshine Stars side, you will think they might want to fancy their chances.
They will, definitely. Defeated Warrior Wolves 2-0 last weekend, and you'd expect them to take it from there. We saw the proprietor of Gabriels now, Ifeanyi, donate buses, donate escort cars, he means business. He means business.
I hope he doesn't lose his team.
I hope he doesn't lose his team. And we're still going to mention that. I think if we will mention it in the course of the program, if it was Gabriels that was supposed to travel on Thursday, I think they would have traveled. What do you think? Talking about Dolphins. Okay. If it was Gabriels, if they were in the same situation, I think they would have traveled without hiccups.
All right, we'll get to that.
Private owner.
We'll get to that at some point in time. But let's talk about that side. That said, as regards the MPFL games will take place, if you're nearby and you want to go ahead and enjoy, we will encourage you to actually go ahead to the stadiums and see beautiful games that will take place today. That said about the MPFL, let's talk about the under-20 side. There's an African Youth Tournament taking place, African Youth Championship taking place in Senegal. A lot of people don't even know that these boys have played. But they played 3 games. They've qualified from the group. They qualified top of the group. They played yesterday against the Ivorians, and they played a 2-2 draw. It was a draft game, if you want to say, but I mean, it was good that they could come back into the game. They considered the first goal, considered the second goal, then equalized the first, and eventually ended up playing 2-2 with Ivory Coast. The second game of the group was between Senegal and Congo. Senegal defeated Congo 4-3. What this means is from Group A, the Super Flying Eagles as well as the Senegalese will be have qualified for the next stage. So we await the winner between the game in Group B. We have 2 qualifiers already from that group. That's talking about Mali and Ghana. They've already qualified, but we don't know who's going to top the group. So that's what we'll see at the end of the day. We're going to talk you through the fixtures. But as it stands, Group A, Nigeria played 2-2 with Ivory Coast, and we saw Senegal play 4-3 with Congo. It
was a draft game, as you said yesterday. It didn't have the free-flowing kind of football that you expect. Although I saw a lot of brilliant flashes from the Flying Eagles. Having said that, I will be a little bit selfish to say I'm actually elated, very ecstatic that the Ivorians are actually out. But I'm sad. I'm sad for them.
The under 17 level.
I remember. We lost. Yes, we lost in the first round, and then we drew the second game, and then went on penalties, and then we lost to them again. And those lads were crying like they had lost the World Cup. Eventually, they went on to win the World Cup. But coming here now, I think for African football, if there was going to be a very good representative for Africa on the world scene, Ivory Coast would have done a very, very good job. They were very unlucky. You can't ignore the Senegalese. They were very unlucky. They didn't lose any game, and yet they're out. What they just did was that they drew 3 of their games, and it wasn't enough because Senegal drew 1, and then they won 1, so on 4 points. Having said that, the Ivorians yesterday, don't take anything away from those boys. I see a bright future for those lads. Yes, they didn't qualify for the World Cup, but if you saw that game, they were physical. They dominated the Flying Eagles in terms of, how do I put it now? In the 50-50s, the physical play, they dominated the Flying Eagles. So what the Flying Eagles just had, the edge was, individual brilliance, which actually came to fore for the second goal. You will have seen that Musa Mohamed scored the penalty. Christian Piagbara also, beautiful goal, and then he got off the mark. Having said that, that was the least we expected anyway, for them to qualify for the World Cup and then top the group, and they have done that.
Yeah, but again, I'd like to talk about Olorun Loke-Ojo. Olorun Loke-Ojo actually came in place, and he has considered 3 goals in 2 games that he has played.
The first goalkeeper, Ena Holo, actually got a red card. Olorun Loke-Ojo came in for him. It's interesting to know that Dele Alampasu, who was the top choice goalkeeper for under 17, is now 3rd choice. Olorun Loke-Ojo, He had a bad game yesterday, but I wouldn't criticize him. We've seen Enyama have bad games too for Nigeria, but on the balance of, say, 20 games, he's expected to have maybe one bad game. Particularly for that second goal yesterday when he rushed out. I think he didn't judge the flight of the ball very well, and then he didn't get to the ball. The Ivorian scored a brilliant one. He didn't have a very impressive game. According to his own standard, Olonloko Joe of Giwa, we know what he did last season, so we'll expect that he would, contribute his own quota to this team.
All right.